I still remember working at the movie theater when Passion of the Christ came out. There's nothing odder than seeing like people with big buckets of popcorn and sodas to go see Passion of the Christ. I was like, this is a very
just
weird
to watch their savior get just
scourged
for 2.5 hours. The cat of nine tails just whip Jesus's ass, boy. What's up, Airheads? It's time once again for Puttin on Airs. We got a treat for you this week. He's been on the show before. We're welcoming him back, and we're glad to do it. Brandon Collins, film critic extraordinaire, and a classification Corey took issue with during the interview. You'll see. He'll explain himself. But certified film reviewer on Rotten Tomatoes and host of the Medium Popcorn podcast and the new venture Drunk Black History. But we've known this guy for a long time. We met him doing Doug Loves Movies, as we point out, getting whipped by him in Doug Loves Movies repeatedly. But became a buddy of ours. I love this dude. He knows his shit with movies, which come up on this show all the time. So, you know, you guys will dig him too. We were gonna have like a 30-minute conversation about movies or whatever, but you'll never believe this. Us being us.
Yeah.
We sort of went longer than that, but I thoroughly
it's a testament to how that's going to say, like, it's a testament to how much we were enjoying it. Cause I noticed the clock and I was like, no, this is gas.
Yeah.
I like
to me, it flew by. I had a great time as I always do with Brandon. So we think you guys will enjoy it too. So, I mean, I think that's about it. With that said, enjoy this conversation, film centric conversation, though we do digress here and there. Imagine that.
No.
With the one and only Brandon Collins. Here you go.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I took in my friend Justin's cat. Yeah, he's got a Bengal cat, so they have a lot of energy, and they're like, it's like a baby leopard.
Wait,
in the house.
Nice.
I was about to say, but there's Bengal cats. Like, I knew there was.
They're
Bengal
super expensive,
tigers.
aren't they? You got a buddy that gave you a Bengal cat, because I think those are like thousands.
Flip
of
it. I mean, everyone's in love with him now because he's such a fun cat, you know, and like he looks amazing. But I have to take him for walks, which is like really weird in like Woodhaven, Queens, to take a Bengal cat for a walk.
Yeah,
this guy
feels like more of a Brooklyn thing to me. Taking a cat for a walk. Brandon Collins is with us, everybody. Obviously, we're going to keep all that in. People, we love the cat talk here. Been on the show before, friend of the show.
Yes.
Frequent competitor of ours on Doug Loves Movies. Frequent owner of ours.
Ass whooper.
Always ass whooper of ours.
God.
And movie critic extraordinaire, host of the Medium Popcorn podcast. But how's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I also do a show called Drunk Black History, and I'm going on tour starting next month to kick off with the 100th month of Black History. 100th year of Black History Month. Sorry, I smoked.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Well, it is still that is the 100th month though. It's only 1 month. Yeah, so exactly. It is. So you weren't wrong. It just sounded weird.
It did start off as a week though.
America gave Black people a History Month in 1926.
So they gave us a week at first.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Carter G. Woodson did a lot of work.
I believe
we got a week.
That's 3/5 of a month, so it was pretty close.
Yep, exactly. Did the math there, and then it didn't become an actual month until 1976. But we're just giving it the credit, to be able to celebrate, because we're in danger of possibly the month being taken away from us. So as many other things. So
yeah. What they do at like the national parks or somewhere. Something they did, you know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? They did something that was like truly crazy. I don't remember.
It's a bunch of stuff. I mean, the racial and like just the military, the Black contributions to the LGBT community contributions, like they're wiping all that out, all that stuff.
Right.
Well, let me tell you, as a white man, they've not really come for me yet. But if they're doing something to the national parks, then like I'm going to start feeling that, and that's not going to feel good.
You didn't think when they went after Jimmy Kimmel, they weren't coming after you, man?
Not really. I'm not successful or good looking. I mean, look, like I wish that I was, don't get me wrong, they shouldn't be going after comedians for things that they say from a government point of view. Obviously, that's literally against the Constitution. However, I would love to be relevant and important and famous enough for that to currently be one of my problems. It's not. Wish it was. By the way, Trae, you said I just want to make sure everybody knows when you said that he was a film critic extraordinaire. I sort of gave it the, and that's I just need the audience to know that is because Brandon, and we'll get into it in a minute.
Yeah,
I've done some digging and I pulled up some of your reviews that I find horrible. What is the word? Abhorrent, and horrible. Abhorrible. And I'm going to have to get you. I'm going to have to get you to explain yourself. But before that, because we will get in the weeds, I'm curious to know you got a new project coming up, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Drunk Black History. I want to know. I want to know how that works. So tell everybody.
Yeah, it's basically the Daily Show meets Drunk History. But the platform is basically I bring on like experts, comedians, writers, historians, and we talk about Black historical figures and events that haven't gotten their due. We do a lot of participation with like the audience, like a lot of drinking and like fun contests and stuff. And the drinking component comes because our history is very heavy. Because there's a lot of pain and sorrow there. And so then, you wash it out with a few shots. We say how we really feel about society, but then also remind ourselves the incredible things that we contributed to the world as Black people, because that's often forgotten. And as we talked about just a few minutes ago, it's being actively erased by our current government. So it's an incredibly rewarding show. I'm an educator and a comedian at the same time. Like, that's an incredible combination. And so just being able to go travel the country and like share these stories has been awesome. We're going to be in Brooklyn, Austin. We were in New Orleans in October. We're going to be in Newark. We're going to be in LA, going to be doing some dates in Florida soon. It's awesome. Yeah, it's been great.
That's a hard show to promote because obviously you want people to come, but at the same time, you don't want the cops to know about a central location full of Black drunk people that they can all wait outside.
I literally thought about that. I thought about that for
first thing I thought of.
Yeah. I was like, they know where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do some really good targeted ads to make sure that the Punisher logo people don't show up.
Where did you say that people can find the tickets to that?
Yeah, drunkblackhistory.com or my personal website, FrodoBlackens.com, whichever one floats your boat more.
Right on. Love it.
Frodo Blackens.
Corey, I want to, Brandon, I haven't heard these. I don't know what movies these are about to be, and I don't know what you said.
Yeah, I don't know either, because they go far back.
Yeah.
Also, just to set this up a little bit, and why I have always had a problem with Brandon personally, and if you're new to our show, you won't know. If you've listened to the show before, you will know, and that is because Brandon, one of his greatest accolades in entertainment is that he is the sole reason that Paddington 2 doesn't have a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's my co-host. Okay, you can't do that to me, Corey.
Oh,
that's my co-host.
Right. Sorry, y'all look alike. That's on me. I did it. I mean,
we are on the same platform, so that means we get the same hate. We get death threats over that, dude.
Okay,
right?
Well,
because if you look at the reviews, because you guys are certified reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes, and if you look at, but it's listed under the name of your show, right? So it just says medium pop. So that was his take or whatever, but it's attributed to both of you.
Y'all met my co-host Justin. He's an angry man, and I don't know how you hate Paddington 2 like that. Even just talking about it makes me smile. It's such a cute movie, but he was in a dark place, and he put out a Rotten review, and it was like him and one other Rotten Tomatoes critic at the same time both took it from 100%. It was like a record to 98, and then the death threats started coming in.
First off, if you're in a dark place, I can think of no better movie to bring you out of that dark place than Paddington 2. But I would like to formally apologize, Brandon. That wasn't you, but in this world, you're known by the company you keep, and it is Medium Popcorn. But I did some digging.
But sorry, to divert just a tiny bit before we get into that, because the last time we did Brandon's show, right, it was Christmas movie themed. I think it was one of the last times. And we ended up watching Klaus, right, with a K, K-L, which is great. Everybody loves it. I love it too. But in the behind the scenes for that, which I know we talked about on your show, but I don't think I ever got brought up on here, you gave us a list of movies we could choose from, right? And Klaus was one of them. That's one we ended up doing. One of them was Elf, and I don't remember the other ones. And I responded first, and I was like, I got a feeling Corey is gonna really want to do Elf. I was like, so if that's what the pick is, that's fine. If it's up to me, I say Klaus, and then Corey was like, no, we could do Klaus, and then you got a little defensive about it, Corey. You're like, no, you did. You were like, why did you assume that I would like Elf? Like, why did you say
like
that?
The movie, for the record.
I know, and I was like, I don't know. I thought everybody fucking loves Elf, and it's like whimsical. It's Will Ferrell. It's Christmas. It just seems crazy, like though. It just seems like you would love that to me. And
I do love it. I didn't like. I did. Well, by the way, I like it more than I let on. I just don't like being figured out. That's all it is. I don't like being figured out.
Okay.
But I'm glad you said that, because first on the list is my man's review of Elf.
Wow, that's weird. Okay, well, I did not know that at all. I just thought
dude, we're on the same brain length. I can't talk today. I think I'm
brain
length.
Yeah,
that's
what it is.
I haven't brain length.
Wavelength. Brain length. I get it.
I haven't had a drink in like 3.5 weeks, and it's having the opposite effect on my brain. Like it doesn't really. Yeah. Elf 2003. Now, I would like to point out that this review that he has given is from December 10th, 2025. Yep. So he's gone back and just reviewed it a couple months ago. Right? He says, a few of the jokes in this film are really funny, but ultimately, I really don't understand why people love this movie so much. Buddy is a truly unhinged character, and not in a fun way.
He is.
Yeah.
If you watch it under an adult lens, Elf is fucking disturbing, dude. All the adults in the North Pole failed Buddy because he's a human. Yeah. They're telling him he's an elf, but everyone's teasing him. He's been mocked his whole fucking life. Then he finds out that he's like this orphan kid that was basically stolen by Santa. Because Santa, as soon as he arrives in the North Pole, was like, I have a baby. I'll just keep it. Like, he knows where to take the baby back to the orphanage.
That's true.
So
Buddy's
raised in
it must be my birthday.
Yeah.
Free baby.
And then they're just like, oh,
he's
yeah,
a
you have a
trafficker.
family. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you have a dad in New York. Just go to New York from the North Pole. So Buddy just travels, gets to New York, and is just fucking nuts. Like, and he meets poor Zoe Deschanel, who is so broken and poor.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll take a chance on this guy. It's crazy, dude.
Okay, and all of that is true, but I would like to say this. Now that you have said, like, Buddy was mistreated, he was handled the wrong way, he was given up as a baby, well, now it's kind of offensive that you're calling him unhinged and not in a fun way. How the fuck did you think he was going to act?
Yeah, you'd think you'd have a little more empathy for poor Buddy. Listen, full disclosure here. Just for the record, I think that Elf is fine, is what I think. I don't understand really why it's as beloved as it is. I think that
we were just a little too old.
I guess that is it. But like Katie loves it. You know, the boy, like,
well, yeah, she's 50.
Right, exactly. But growing up, or like my sons who are now 13 and 14, but like over the years, Elf has been put on a ton at Christmas, and I've always, you know, and again, it's a fun, sweet, cute movie and all this stuff. Yeah. But I don't get why it's like achieved that sort of like legendary status that people gave it personally.
And also the way that Will Ferrell plays Buddy, it's not fun unhinged. Like if you watch Jingle All the Way, Sinbad is fun unhinged. You know what I mean?
50 million people would disagree with you, but you know.
Sinbad over Will Ferrell is a funny.
It's a hot take
generally, but
I mean, if you watch Jingle All the Way, guys,
that's a great movie. That's a very underrated movie.
Yeah, but Sinbad's character doesn't have a kid. He wants to play for himself.
That's hilarious. Right. What is your position on that? The Sinbad element, or the Sinbad iteration of the Mandela effect? Brandon, are you familiar with it?
Yes.
You know
I thought it was Shazam or something, right?
But it was a completely
this is one that doesn't.
movie.
This is one that doesn't apply to me. This one I've never had ever. Yeah. But people vehemently claim that they remember vividly Sinbad starring in a like a genie movie or a wizard movie.
I've heard
something
just
called
like Shaq did.
Called Shazam, right? Which and Shaq was in Kazam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And they're like, but never was no movie, but I remember it so well, and I don't remember it, but I'm wondering, do you remember that?
I remember that the whole thing. I mean, for me, it's like it'd be hilarious if that movie really did exist and Sinbad just did everything in his power to get it erased from the world.
Right.
Because that happens sometimes, right?
Yes.
But it also is possible that someone was like on Canal Street in New York City and saw a bootleg cover of a tape that had, Sinbad as Genie. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you know this, but in the stand-up comedy world, it's like a known fact that Sinbad is one of the killingest killers that ever killed. They say that
it's so funny you bring that up. I just show my kids. So before this, I teach middle school, high school students stand-up comedy. And today I actually showed them a Sinbad clip because I was like, Sinbad was the first comedian I was allowed to fully embrace because he's clean.
Right.
Because of his experiences, my grandparents, my mom were like, yeah, we can watch Sinbad all day. Right. And I told them a bunch of stories about like how he's a killer. Before the stroke, he was known as being a huge killer and had great road stories and stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. A comic that I worked with had worked with Sinbad and said earlier that day in whatever city they were in, he went to one of those sock stores that seems
it was
to be
Mark
everywhere
Maron
now.
talking about Just for Laughs.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
Okay, he got maybe, but Sinbad went to a sock store, right?
Yeah,
and then just did like 35 minutes on socks and sock stores and whatever else, and like just destroyed with it the whole time.
I think you're misremembering, but it really did happen. It was Mark Maron told this story of they both got Just for Laughs at the same time, and they had met each other, and they were walking around the mall because Maron forgot his shoes or something, and Sinbad had this encounter like in the sock store or whatever, and Maron was like, he was worrying about his set or whatever, and he's like, so what are you going to do tonight? And he's like, I'm going to talk about them socks. And he's like, and he did in the most important set of our lives. And his guest was like, how'd it go? And he goes, he murdered harder than anyone there, like without question.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much. I mean, that's what I said. I remembered it as being a buddy and not Mark Maron.
I just wanted to add the stakes to it. I think the stakes of it being Just for Laughs makes it hit harder.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is true. Before we go on with the other movie things, though, Brandon, do you have like a theory on the Mandela effect writ large? Like,
I think it's sometimes it just happens, like, I don't know about you guys, but I have like a deja vu a lot. So like, there's a lot of things I dreamed that then like pop up and I'm like, oh, I thought I just made that up in my head. You know what I mean? Or
universe, bro.
Yeah. So, or you see things and you're like, did I see that correctly? So I can understand people having moments where like, I could have sworn that really happened or that was really said.
The one that got me the hardest was the very first one I ever heard. And it was definitely the Berenstain Bears or whatever. Like that one, I would have bet my house. The first one I ever heard, first example I ever heard, and it's actually there's only two examples I've ever. The only do what?
Aside from actual Mandela.
No, that's not the first one that I ever heard. The first one that I said the first one that I ever heard.
I know, but what did they call it when you heard it? Is what I'm saying.
Even if they didn't, they said, doesn't anyone remember or notice that this? Even if they called it the Mandela effect, I still wouldn't have known the example they were talking about.
I think
or what
you
that
wouldn't
meant.
have.
How? That's another one that never.
Smart.
But what even is when they say what is the Mandela version of the Mandela? What even is that?
I have no idea.
There's a large group. I mean, supposedly
he died in prison, right?
That he died in prison. They remember him dying in prison.
I remember him very famously not dying in prison.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
What is that, like our age though? Is that maybe our age?
I think it's because it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's another. So like that one. I don't think it should be named after that one because to me that one is like not even close. But they said when it got pointed out to me, it actually isn't Berenstain Bears. It's Berenstain Bears with an A.
That one got me.
I was like, no, it isn't. Like, that one was one I was like, no. Yeah. And then it gets proven and it kind of blew my mind. The only other one that I ever experienced personally or agreed with, it was the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia thing.
Okay.
That to this day, because I know it's
there
not only
never
that
was a cornucopia on Fruit of the Loom.
Really?
Never.
They
never had. They never.
Because there was, dude. Because I don't even just remember.
Apparently not, though.
Yes, there was. I don't just remember.
Okay, this is just you doing the Mandela effect. Right
no, it's not. I remember asking my mom what that was on the shirt, and she said that's
what
cornucopia.
This is.
But I'm telling you, it's a government psyop. This to me is proof that it's a fucking government psyop. And they're in
Listen to me.
But isn't that what people say about the Mandela effect? Is like we live in a simulation and it gets rebooted or patched sometimes, and so some of these things are like glitches. Vestiges of all glitches from old iterations of the Matrix or some shit like that.
Well, there's also the not so the not so like science fiction-y version, which is that, and a lot of people believe this, is that really what it is the government going on to the internet and changing all of this information, something very subtle, to see if how much they can change and have people go, oh, I guess I didn't remember it correctly.
How much?
So, see, I'm more inclined to believe that there's just like maniacal people out in the world, like who just love chaos. And so there's someone at Fruit of the Loom who like designed a few packages with like the cornucopia, and it's just out there. And so like there's like a dozen people that actually saw it legit.
Well, another thing I've heard people say is that, and this would make sense for me because I was poor white trash, that like bootleg version, like, you know what I mean? Like fake version, like fake, like off-brand versions of it may have featured a cornucopia and you were a kid and too stupid to know you were poor or whatever. And then you
That's definitely possible.
Yeah.
It's like food of the loom.
Well, that's interesting because my uncle bought me a lot of shirts like when I was a kid for Christmas.
He was a meth head, right?
Yeah. So, okay, I buy that one.
Hey, Corey, I got something for you.
This one,
my meth head uncle gave me presents that he absolutely stole from other people.
For sure.
Still hit for me. Anyway, go ahead. Let's go.
At least you guys got presents.
This is one where I'm
middle class.
Y'all want to talk about food? You know I do. Love talking about food. That's how we roll here. That's how I roll all across the universe. I do a lot of rolling because I'm fat and round because I like food. I like to cook food. It's not that I don't. That's my hobby, in fact. But I'm also a bit of a busy man. And lunchtime is a struggle. I don't know who these people are that have time to cook lunch, right? But you want something that's good too. Well, it's hard to find stuff that's good and convenient in terms of food, in my opinion. Or at least it was hard until I found out about Factor. That's right. This week's sponsor, Factor. If you've been around for a minute, you've heard me talk about Factor before. You know I'm a big fan. Factor sent us a box to try it out when they first got on board. And my wife, without even asking me, she does that a lot. She doesn't feel the need to seek my approval for anything, which is fine. It's 2026. But my wife just went and subscribed us to Factor permanently thereafter because she liked it so much right out the box. And I did too. It's good stuff because it is both convenient and also good and also healthy. A combination of things that I didn't know was heretofore possible. And it wasn't without Factor. Factor helps you eat smarter with tasty chef prep meals that are dietitian approved and get delivered straight to your door. So, like I said, convenient couldn't be simpler. They got more than 65 weekly meals that you can choose from, and it's made for how you live. It's made for what you like to eat. They've got a way to make it fit with your life and your own personal taste, no matter what. So you can get a real meal whatever time of day, wherever the day takes you. That's what Factor offers. Now they got a wider selection than ever of weekly options. They've got premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Their meals are GLP-1 friendly, and they have Mediterranean diet options as well. They got protein, heavy options. They got veggie options. They got all the different types of options. So whatever type of food you're into, they got you covered. Now they've got Asian inspired meals. They've got bold flavors, from Southeast Asia and all around the world, right? So for from more choices to better nutrition. That's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. Again, I genuinely love this stuff. It's been a massive boon to my daily routine as someone who works from home. But hey, take it to work with you. Whatever you're getting down with lunch or any meal at any time of day, Factor truly hits. Eat smart at factormeals.com/POA50 off. That's the number 50. Use the code POA50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code POA50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. Y'all, we live in the future, don't we? Hasn't really worked out the way that I thought the future would when I was a kid. I got to be honest, but a lot of things have really leveled up. Phone ain't a phone. It's a supercomputer. It's a know everything magic box in your pocket at all times. Your car parks its damn self. You got headphones. You put headphones in your ear and the outside world goes away, cancels it out through matching frequencies. Black magic. It's what we're doing with technology nowadays. But for some reason, though, those technological advances have not extended to the realm of shaving. Razors stuck in 2008 at best. It's like, I feel like the last innovation in razors is when they were like, let's put more razors on a razor. And they were like, God damn, give this guy a razor. Sorry. But you know what I mean? That other than that, what have they done? But that's where Harry's Plus comes in. Harry's Plus, finally somebody leveling up the razor game, and it's about damn time. I don't know if you can see my neck. Look at my neck. You guys like my neck? Just hit my neck with the old Harry's razor. Harry's Plus in particular. Right before I came out here, smooth as a baby's bottom it is. I'll tell you that right now, because Harry's Plus has, I don't know why I went into an accent, has an advanced pivoting system to reach every single corner of your face, refined blade tech for a closer, smoother shave, and a weighted metal handle so it feels like quality because it is quality. Plus, the heavier it is, it gives you added control and comfort. You're not going to slip up as much. You don't want to slip up where razors are involved, and Harry's got you covered. Feels like an expensive shave at the barbershop, but it isn't. It's you doing it with Harry's Plus. Refills are still cheaper than the other guys, like always. It's designed with progressive blades for less tug and pull, and with Harry's Plus, you get a barbershop quality shave with German engineered blades, and each blade is honed at 3 different angles to cut hair cleanly at the root without tugging or ripping. You don't want that. Blade spacing is optimized to glide smoothly and avoid clogging. Drugstore blades clog up very fast. We've all experienced that. Every cartridge includes a lubricating strip with aloe and vitamin E to calm your skin while you shave. Like I said, smooth, lush, feels good. I can't stop rubbing my own neck now that I've started. Because Harry's made my neck hit. Thanks, Harry's. Harry's owns their own world-class blade factory in Germany. No outsourcing, no middleman. That same facility has been perfecting blade making for over 100 years now. Because Harry's controls the entire process from steel to shelf, that's how they keep their costs low. So why pay $30 for refills when Harry's gives you better blades for a fraction of that? Harry's has launched their most advanced razor ever, and it is still cheaper than the Gillette Fusion 5. How about that, Gillette? Screw your 5 blades. Harry's coming through. If you don't love your shave, Harry's will make it right. No questions asked. Risk-free trial means there's zero downside to giving it a shot. They don't just make razors. They have a full line of grooming essentials. They've got shave gel. They got deodorant, body wash, all of which is thoughtfully made and priced to stock up, and all of which can be delivered directly to your doors. You can set your own preferred schedule and never run out of blades again. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10. $10 in 2026. I didn't think you'd get nothing for $10, but that's just how much Harry's hits. Harrys.com/POA. That's HARRYS. Harrys.com/POA. You get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/POA to claim this offer. And after you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that POA sent you. Harry's, get smoothed up, baby.
This is one where I don't actually have a problem with Brandon at all. Matter of fact, okay. I agree with him. I'm bringing it up because I hope that it starts an argument with Trae. Here's the review. At one of my favorite films in recent memory, between the memorable script, performances, and overall look of the film, I loved every bittersweet moment of this film. Brandon, do you remember what you said that about?
No idea, man. Because
Trae, can you assume what I'm talking about?
I mean, that was a pretty, that could apply to a lot of movies.
But so it's the Holdovers. It's the Holdovers, which didn't hit for you.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Okay.
Oh, he hated it. He says the worst fucking movie of 2024.
No, I didn't say that. And also, Corey, part of this conversation I cannot have on here because it will make sense when I text you about it later. But let's just say that movies like that. So I just have trouble with like rich kid movies generally, especially the ones that involve like how sad they are and stuff. Like I know that kid had good reasons to be sad, and rich kids can be sad, and I know all that is true. It's just like a personal bugaboo of mine, I guess. But another one that I will mention specifically is like Into the Wild. I always bring that one up. Like people really jerk that movie off and everything.
I hate that movie. I hate
that whole
died,
from the
right?
very
Emily Hirsch.
Yeah, fuck that.
He played him. The real guy's name was Christopher
McQueen's?
McCandless, I think.
Yeah.
And there was a famous book about it. Sean Penn turned it into a movie. Oscar nominated, all this stuff. And from the literally the opening scene of that movie, I was like, "Oh fuck this guy," and I felt that way about it the whole way through. So I didn't like actively dislike the Holdovers, but that genre of thing, that genre of thing is not my thing. Generally.
See, for me, the Holdovers is it's this. The whole movie is about Paul Giamatti, right? And like in the rich kids, like, part of like, the system that's, keeping him, all this kind of stuff, right? I just love Paul Giamatti specifically in that movie. I mean, Divine Joy Randolph, she won the Oscar. She was great in it as well. Mm-hmm. But Paul Giamatti, like that was him being back together with Alexander Payne since Sideways. I just thought it was like I wanted him to win. I know Cillian Murphy, no pun intended, killed it in Oppenheimer, but I really thought Paul Giamatti gave the best performance today.
Me and Corey know a guy who is now a TV writer. He wrote for Friends and shit and has written for a ton of things. But he wanted to be an actor initially and got into the acting program at Yale, which is like a big deal. And he was there in that acting program with Paul Giamatti. Oh, and he told us that like at that time, like immediately, like he was just like clearly special, like as compared to all the other people in there. It was like he like stood out to everyone, like everyone, all these like people in this like elite acting program or college age kids, they all agreed like this dude's fucking something else. So he just always had it like that, evidently, which I'm not surprised to hear. He's one of those guys.
I was really worried at the top of that story because, in Hollywood, you hear enough of those stories when it starts off like, I knew a guy that. I went to a fraternity house one night and buddy fucking
got his butt fucked.
Want to know? Yeah. Right. They say that about John Hamm not getting his butt fucked.
But he hazed a lot of people.
Yeah. Fraternity house horror stories with John.
Oh, really?
Hamm. Yeah. It's my favorite podcast.
But I forgive him. Yeah. You know why I forgive him? Because he was just abusing other fraternity guys, and I fucking don't like them. So, that's fine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Keep it in house. You knew what you were signing up for. Why were you wearing that polo? You know what I mean? So, this film, you gave a 2 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Rotten.
Yep.
And what you've said about it is, I've definitely seen worse. But their stereotypes and odd performances in this half-hearted heist film made it a chore to get through. You remember that one?
Half-hearted heist film. Oh,
this is Baby Driver?
No, Ocean's 8?
No, it's not Ocean. You think I'd be mad at you for shitting on Ocean's 8? Brother, you on the wrong show.
You through the screen.
Absolutely. No.
Is it Baby Driver?
60 seconds. Gone in 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah, dude. That movie, that movie was weird. There's that one black kid that looks like a...
That's the point.
That was such a weird movie, man. That was
this the first time you'd seen it?
No. I saw that in opening weekend, dude. It was Angelina Jolie and Nick Cage, early 2000s. Who's not going to go opening weekend to that?
Right. I agree, and that's why it hits.
I did too. I haven't seen it since, though, I don't think, and I don't really remember much about it.
It's not memorable. It's like there's some cool chase scenes, but just go watch The French Connection or something.
Where are you at on the Fast and Furious franchise?
Oh, dude. I mean, 5 and 6 are classic action movies.
Okay.
Like Fast 5 is probably the best one in the whole goddamn series. That's the introduction of The Rock in the series. And that's when they have the safe and stuff like that. Dude, after 7, it went cuckoo bananas, like in a bad way. Like
that's a good run though. To get to 7 before you go cuckoo's bananas is
And the fact that they showed in 6 that Tokyo Drift was actually in the future is insane.
Oh, I didn't get to that one. That's nuts. So that's how they explain that none of them were in that or something?
Exactly, yeah. And they were able to bring in Han. It's fucking nuts. When you get to the end of 6, it shows that this is all like before Tokyo Drift. So in 7, it opens in Tokyo Drift at the end of Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, 1 and 2 have a special place in my heart just because A, I was the right age, and 2, I went back and rewatched it. It's not that great, but at that time in my life, all I needed was Ludacris is in it. Awesome. You know what I mean? And he had the accompanying Too Fast, Too Furious song, which was the jam.
Too fast for y'all, man. But yeah, that was he's only in 2, obviously, famously, right?
Yeah.
Another pitfall of Ja Rule's illustrious career, right? Was starting out in Fast and Furious and then getting replaced by Luda.
Well, it's because
from henceforth.
He asked for too much money, right? That's why they that. Yeah.
Absolute idiot.
That movie's hilariously dated too. It's so like early 2000s, whatever.
That's why I like about it on a rewatch. Like it's a bit of nostalgia, you know. Like it just feels like such a place in time.
Yeah, it's Vice City the movie. It's out of control, but John Singleton had a lot of fun making it. You could tell, like they were just like fucking around. Like
his movies were always fun. You know, I enjoyed them. Here's one that you
chuckled a lot at Boys in the Hood, Corey.
That was coming
of course I do. Are you kidding? Movie. It is fun. Well, we have different ideas of fun. I didn't say lighthearted. I said fun. I like shooting. This is one that I really don't. There's nothing you can say to defend yourself. There's nothing you can say to defend yourself. You gave this a 1 out of 5, so worse than Gone in 60 Seconds. And we know what you've just said about that.
Yep.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
What?
Listen, hold up. Listen, not only 1 out of 5.
No.
The pacing was rough. Clark Griswold is not a fun protagonist to follow, and the comedy was all over the place tonally. Randy Quaid. Okay, now I agree with this. Randy Quaid is the best thing in this, which is bonkers to say. I disagree that that's bonkers to say. Randy Quaid was often the best part of everything, but Clark Griswold's not a fun protagonist to follow. What are you? I mean, fuck Chevy Chase, but what?
We've only done the first Vacation on the podcast, so Media Popcorn, but I've just never been a fan of the Vacation movies or any of the National Lampoon movies, to be honest with you. I don't know what it is. Like, it's weird.
Name some of the other National Lampoon. I know that they made a whole bunch of movies for a while.
Well, there's Vacation. There's
Vacation?
I don't mean the Vacation. I'm not, no. I don't mean that franchise. I mean, no, I know that they made like they made other movies. What are the? Yeah, Animal House, right? Is one.
Yeah, Animal House is a specific time. Like I could chuckle, but also there's like a lot of like weird, you know.
I'm not big on Animal House personally.
I'm sure at the time it was great, but when you've seen.
Is Road Trip or Euro Trip a National Lampoon's movie or one of those?
You know what? I don't know.
Loaded Weapon, which is like a Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that's Emilio Estevez, right?
Might have been a national, but they used to. That was a brand. It wasn't just the Vacation. It was National Lampoons, and they made a bunch of other movies.
Yeah,
Van Wilder.
So
Van Wilder fucked me up because that donut scene grossed me out. I didn't have a glazed donut for like months.
I licked a bunch of dogs' dicks afterwards. It didn't fuck me up at all. I was like, "Why? Damn! I've been getting the non-cummed on donuts. This is gay."
So, Brandon, my dad owned the video store in my hometown growing up, and the only Christmas tradition that we had at all was we watched Christmas Vacation every year. So that's a huge one for me. I could pretty much quote the whole movie, but I do think that while comedy generally ages like milk, me and Corey have talked about it a ton. I'm sure part of it's nostalgia, but that movie, I just feel like it just comedically like mostly holds up in my opinion. Randy Quaid, me and Corey talked when Randy Quaid, he shows up like
he's hilarious.
43 minutes and 42 seconds. 43 minutes and 42 seconds
into that movie. And he just comes out the gate just slinging fastball after fastball.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Never lets up.
Gas.
He's so goddamn funny the whole time. And I don't know. I just love it. But Clark too, you know, fucking bend over and I'll show you. I wasn't talking to you. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and that guy. And who's that guy? That guy's somebody's brother or cousin or something.
Yeah.
But
it was wild seeing Julie in that.
Yeah, but them, you know, fucking things that I remember that weren't even, you know, why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. Well, like that, like I don't know. I
get it. On the review, I said like I can understand why people liked it. It just wasn't my cup of tea, and I'm also not the biggest Chevy Chase fan. I've said
that's fair enough
for a long time.
That's very fair.
I think a lot of people have like come around to that way of thinking at this point.
But he's not Clark Griswold. That's he's his own guy, you know.
I know.
And by the way, when I saw this was like the first review I saw of yours, and in my brain, I was just like, okay, well, you know, maybe he doesn't like a fucking family of well-to-do, snooty white people in a suburban play. And I was like, that's fair. But when I saw the Holdovers was 5 out of 5, I was like, this guy's all over the place. What's happening?
I know it's weird. Yeah, man. Like just you know, also like growing up, my grandmother and I used to watch a lot of movies. Same with my mom, but we never really watched like. Not saying like big, Christmas Vacation is like crude, but we didn't watch any like that type of humor. It was usually pretty wholesome or like kind of like quirky and stuff like that. Yeah, we didn't really watch National Lampoon movies. Really? I watched those on my own and I was like, oh, okay.
So wholesome, you're saying that wholesome Christmas movies that are funny and a little bit quirky but not too crude is something that you enjoy? That's funny because, and while you did give it fresh, that's sure. While you did give Home Alone a fresh score,
was just about to ask about Home Alone.
It is only 3 out of 5. I'm sorry, but this movie bodies the Holdovers.
That's one, right?
The Holdovers.
You're talking about Home Alone 1, right?
Home Alone, of course.
Okay, Home Alone 1. Yeah, like there's some plot holes there. I will say, haven't. That's what we gotta do as film critics, though, man. I gotta analyze things.
You don't mean. So first of all the madcap and zany hijinks that transpire in the third act of that movie are obviously suspension of disbelief material. Yeah. But so when you say plot holes, because if you mean like a child being left behind in 1989 or whatever, I totally buy that. Like, dude, fucking. Never crossed my mind that anything.
You got to follow the trail of scottery scratch off residue to find your mom.
I just feel like most parents in that era, I'd totally buy they could get all the way to France and not realize they didn't have one of their kids.
And dude, they cover their tracks too. So number one, how did they miscount them? Well, there was a kid from across the street who was turned around with a hoodie on. She thought it was Kevin. Yeah. Also, both of because there was 9 kids, there was going to be a car with there was, what was it? Yeah, there was 9. There was going to be a car of 5 and a car with 4. They were both 4, so each person in there just assumed, oh, the other car is the one with 5 in it. And if you go back and watch, when Kevin spills the milk or whatever, it knocks his ticket into the trash, and they cover it with stuff. So the next morning when they're going to pass out the tickets, they wouldn't have had the extra tickets. So, Brandon Collins, Mr. fucking Rotten Tomato extraordinaire, what are these goddamn fucking plot holes that you're talking about?
Okay, well, first off, I appreciate the argument, but you got to think about the fact that the family. Okay, so the family is all in this house, right? And they're running around and everything like that. No one is. My biggest issues were like no one was actually like functioning like as a person, like as an actual adult, right? There's a bunch of parents there. No one's actually like planning accordingly. Like the power goes out, they're rushing to get to these vans. The vans would have been there way sooner than the time that they arrived.
Absolutely.
For that kind of a party. Like even the 80s, that was insane. Also, okay, so they're in France in the first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They go to France, right? So they're trying to get back to Chicago. My whole thing with that was they had a layover, right? Did they have a layover
in Canada? Yeah. Well, wait, no, you're right.
No.
Yeah, they did have. They were
on the way.
No. Actually, no, they didn't, because the airport that she's in they went straight to France. Yeah.
But on the way back, she gets
a layover, right? Because that's where she meets John Candy.
John Candy has to drive her there.
When she got to America, why didn't she just rent a car?
Didn't she?
She drives with John Candy back to Chicago anyway.
I know.
Wait, hold on. Wasn't
that happens, but
they never talk about rental cars. Like that's an option. And I definitely was back in the 80s.
Yeah, John Candy told her about Steve Martin's troubles with that in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and she was like, "Oh, well, we'll just skip straight to me riding with you then."
Well, you got to forget also the police plot hole.
Oh, sorry. What?
No. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say the police patrolling and going by one time. I don't know what they're saying. There's no one home. They would have been patrolling that neighborhood all the time.
Okay, that right there, you're right. This is one plot hole, and I think I texted this to Trae the other day because we were watching it over Christmas. She calls the cops and like is explaining to them, I've left my son and he is at home. And who would know better if they didn't have their kid than the mother, right?
Exactly.
So the cop, this is how diligent the cops were. The cop goes to the house, knocks on the door. Well, Kevin didn't fucking answer because he was terrified. And the cop immediately radios back and goes, hey, there ain't no kid here. Tell him everything's fine. And it's like, oh, okay. Hey, never mind. Kevin's not at the house. Oh, where is he? I don't know, but he's not at the house, so everything's fine. Let's go to France.
No one ever circled back. And also the biggest issue I had was the neighbor, the creepy ass neighbor, right?
You mean Jesus Christ?
I still don't trust that motherfucker, even after watching this movie my whole life. There's something shady. There's some darkness with that neighbor. Anyways.
Have you seen that theory?
Which one? That he kills people?
That John Hughes made him as a metaphor for Jesus Christ. As soon as I saw the video, I was like, oh, this fucking bullshit. But then I watched it and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So
I can see that.
So obviously you've got the connection with his son and the prodigal son. Like his son went away and didn't want to have anything to do with him. But then there's this redemption, right? He also only appears whenever Kevin needs help. And at one point, Kevin literally goes to the church, asks for a savior. He goes out, the guy's there. But one of the wilder things is when he goes, we all know that he had a bandaged hand, right? And you're like, okay, well, he cut himself. It was bandaged and there was blood on the bottom and on the top as if something went all the way through his hand. Now that was a stylistic choice. They had to make that choice. I'm not saying the guy's actually Jesus, but I do believe John Hughes, you have to be thinking of that when you go, let's make there be blood on the top and blood on the bottom. But he ultimately saves Kevin. He has a come to Jesus moment at the church. I don't think that guy kills people. I think he died on the cross for our sins.
Isn't it essentially just, I love the fan theory. I'm not shitting on that. But in the movie, it's like, isn't it just a thing where it's like, oh, he's a creepy, scary old man. But then, oh, no, he's a good guy. And it's like, I mean, that's it. That's the whole.
He's like estranged with his son. He's like, oh, my son and I don't talk. And then at the end, he's with his son and he's like waving. But I'm like, the neighbor's so nosy from minute one when they're outside, he's shoveling, right? I'm like, he would have seen Kevin by himself at least another day or so and been like, I need to. He would either have gone to the house and talked to Kevin and find out what's going on, or he would have called the police too.
But he did show up every time he needed him, sort of like a guardian angel.
Yeah, but you don't think of it as like, see, that's where I was like, this guy's creepy because he'd be like, hey, kid, where's your family? He never asked about the family.
That's true.
He's like, you're home. You're in church at night by yourself on Christmas Eve.
He was probably in World War II, don't you think? Didn't he give that vibe off?
I mean, he gave off like he's been through some shit. That's why I was like, he probably kills bodies.
Right.
Like,
well,
maybe.
I'll say this
is the salt
about Home Alone. Like, whatever you want to say about it. When my two sons were like 4 and 5, 5 and 6-ish, something like that, and they watched Home Alone, I think for the first time, the fucking final sequence of that movie,
unreal,
the booby trapped house, like it is not possible to crush harder, I don't think, for any type of person, and by doing anything than that part of that movie crushed for my kindergarten age boys when dude, they were losing their shit the whole time. They just
what did they think of Home Alone 2?
Loved it. Not as much.
Oh, okay.
Home
Alone 2's grown on me.
I don't know that
it's good.
I feel like
the Bird Lady.
If you love the first one and you watch the second one right after that, I don't know. It just seems like they just wanted to watch Home Alone again at that age. And then now they don't really want to watch either. They're fucking 14. They want to watch Alien and shit, which is cool.
Oh, shit. OG Alien? Yeah, that's badass.
My 14-year-old, he says his 3 favorite movies are Alien, Tremors, and John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh my God. You did it, after my own heart.
Yeah.
You did.
No, I told him, I was like, that's a good list, buddy. It's a good list.
I actually, when I was at Universal in a program, I was like, is there anyone I could pitch a Tremors reboot to? That was my first question. Oh, wait. They are. They have some stuff in the works, yeah.
Well, I hope they do it justice. Because, I say I'll do Tremors. And this is like a common take, especially in the age of the internet and stuff. But it's true. Tremors is like the best B movie or whatever ever made, in my opinion.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, it's just, there's no fat whatsoever on that script in that movie. The pacing is unreal. It's all just great, dude.
The guns, it's fucking nuts when they go through the basement bunker and he just
the line. You broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, you asshole, or whatever. Like, that's just awesome. That's like the most kick-ass American scene in movie history, pretty much.
Evan Bacon and Fred Ward, man, that was awesome. That was a great duo.
I just, love it. Love that movie, and my sons do too. You got
Reba McEntire too, right?
Oh, I do.
Reba McEntire. Yeah, she's the wife of the gun nut couple.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've got a couple more, and I'm saving one for the end because I think it will warrant the most discussion. I think now this one right here, I put it on the list. This is a movie that I would feel me and Trae would have talked about before, but I'm not sure if we did, so I don't know how this is going to go. Now, I will say on this one, your rating absolutely matches what most of the critics said. So this is a me thing for sure, but I have a feeling it might be a Trae thing too, because I absolutely fucking loved this movie when I was a kid. I'll read you the review first and see if you can remember, because you did rate it on July 2nd of 2025, even though it came out in 1996. While there were some moments that I enjoyed, I never quite connected with the overall tone of the film. I'm also not the biggest fan of slapstick, over-the-top comedy. Shout out to Jack Nicholson for giving us 2 equally insane performances.
Yeah, I know.
And we guessed the movie. What
Mars
is it?
Attacks.
It's Mars Attacks. Okay, he gives it a 2 out of 5. I know the movie's fucking insane, and maybe it's just a nostalgia thing. Holds a place in my heart. Trae, how do you feel about Mars Attacks?
I have been meaning to watch that with my sons for so long, but we still haven't. I agreed with you at the time, Corey. I've not revisited it as like an adult. I definitely really dug it, like when it came out. And even thinking back on it, it's like bug fuck insane movie. Like, but,
of course, that's the point.
So,
right.
Interesting about that movie. So I not only saw that movie opening weekend, because I used to see Tim Burton movies opening weekend all the time. I also read the novelization of it. So I gave Mars Attacks a lot of like leeway to work for me. And I just think it's too much. There's too many characters that don't get enough development. Aesthetically, like, it works perfectly for Tim Burton, but I just didn't think he could balance all that in an effective way. So you just get this hodgepodge of insanity that never has a coherent plot, like through line, except we're being attacked, right? And so that's where it didn't bump for me.
And
I'm sure you're correct. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I'm certain you're correct.
It's nuts, dude. Even though Pam Grier's so hot in it.
Yodeling is what kills them, right? In the end,
yes.
Is it Slim Pickens or whatever? The yodeling.
I don't remember, but they found the sound and like makes their brains explode.
Makes their brains explode, and it's yodeling specifically. But
it's got a dope cast. Though it's Jack Nicholson, Pierce Brosnan, Jim Brown, Pam Grier, Ray J's even in it. It's fucking nuts.
Pam Grier, man, I'll tell you what. 9-year-old me, huge fan of Pam Grier. Huge. I mean, fucking 38-year-old me, also huge fan of Pam Grier, but still. This
97, Pam Grier and Bridget Fonda and Jackie Brown. I was like, this is a hot
I was about to say, because she did Jackie Brown right after this. Like, she was having that little mid-90s run, which was well-deserved. This one right here, let me say this. I don't agree with your rating. I do agree that this movie shouldn't be. I don't know why it's jacked off as much as it is. I liked it pretty fine. You give a 2 out of 5, right? When otherwise the critical consensus is a 68%.
Okay.
And you've said, which I think y'all will both immediately know what this is, despite an incredible performance by Christian Bale, this movie was a struggle to get through, given that none of the characters had any redeeming qualities. Obviously. That is American Psycho. 2 out of 5. Again, I might have only given it 3 out of 5, but I would still say that it warrants another point.
I mean, I think I agree with you, Corey. Like you said, that's one that I also have never really gotten why it's got such like a cult following or whatever. Because I felt the same way. I've gotten kind of better about that. My dad was a huge horror guy. I was never into horror when I was younger, except for creature feature shit like Alien and The Thing and stuff. That's always been my lone exception. I'm getting into horror in the past just few years with my sons getting older and stuff. But like fucked up shit, like I mean, because like that's based on fucking Brett. I've never read any of Bret Easton Ellis's books, and I don't intend to because I know that they're all really fucked up, and I just don't really go in for that kind of thing. The only exception I've ever really had, probably just because of where I'm from, is like Cormac McCarthy, and even his stuff is like, I like it a lot, but it's like
it's dark and morbid. The Road, forget about it, dude.
Blood Meridian.
Blood Meridian is one of the most fucked up books ever written. But American Psycho, to me, it's like that. It's nihilistic and shit, and it's like, again, I don't not like it, but I'm not like
the movie overall is just, it's honestly, it's kind of forgettable. Like if you don't have Christian Bale there, like it's whatever. I mean, like he makes the movie, but that also is an issue for the movie and like its longevity, right? People know American Psycho because, oh yeah, Christian Bale is Patrick Bateman, right? Great.
Where are you at on the end of it? Like, you know what I'm talking about? People say it's one of those ambiguous
open-ended.
Do you agree with that, or do you think it's just because some people say that the fan theories and stuff say it's like none of that happened. None of it happened,
right? Yeah, it was all a dream.
He's crazy. He's crazy. It's like his fantasy. He's not actually doing any of it. And other people are like, no, he's really killing these people. But
I mean, I always assumed that he was really killing people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but apparently the book, he's way more fucked up shit.
I'm sure. Yeah. They had to pull back on that, like for MPAA purposes, for sure. So
yeah, and then they made a sequel starring Mila Kunis as the next American Psycho. Yeah, you don't remember that? Well, people were like, "What? That is a crazy casting, dude.
You can't have a woman being that crazy. It's not believable."
Yeah, well, not that specific type of.
What is this,
Black Swan?
Yeah,
yeah. Like if they had her just drowning a bunch of her own kids, I'd buy it. But like not the methodical,
right? Exactly.
Whatever.
Speaking of that, I had a friend who hit me up the other day about Shutter Island. He's like, dude, have you ever seen Shutter Island, man? I was like, yeah. He's like, that twist with Leo is fucking crazy because what the Michelle Williams character.
Did you not like it?
Oh, I liked it. It's just that that's one of those movies that was advertised, I think, as a different movie than what you saw.
Sure.
I enjoyed it still, but like you would think you were getting like a high, like fast-paced thriller starring Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Martin Scorsese, but you're there for 2.5 hours of just this dark, sad, asylum thriller.
Psychodrama stuff.
Yeah. I feel like that movie is the only movie that like it suffers from the fact that Scorsese directed it, and I mean that in the sense of his bar is so high that it's just a fine Martin Scorsese movie. But if a first time director or somebody else had made it, I think people wouldn't have gone in with those expectations, and they would have been like, "Oh, this is great," because I enjoy the movie. Now I like both Mark Ruffalo and Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's a two-hander, and it's fucking great. But there's some people that just really do not like that movie. And they're also the whole like, oh, I knew the twist was coming or whatever.
Well, let me tell you this right now. Any red-blooded American patriot is surely currently burning their copy of Shutter Island because of Mark Ruffalo being in it, obviously. Sure, you guys agree with that. He's being canceled by anyone who loves this country right now. That's what I say is so funny to me because, like, I don't know where these people have been the whole time. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can be aware of Mark Ruffalo and not know any of that until now. And you're like, "Fuck this guy!" Like,
you would think people would be more angry about the fact that he actually spoiled Avengers: Infinity War. Right. If you go to the interview he did with Don Cheadle, he legit spoiled Avengers, and no one actually thought he did.
And dude, Cheadle was like,
he's freaking
Cheadle
out.
Was white as a ghost, son. Like after that happened, like. The look on his face was just like he was just seeing money float away.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo was like, "You think they're going to be mad at me? Am I in trouble?" He's like, "Yeah, probably."
I don't understand that either because like all these same people have basically for years and years just been like everybody in Hollywood's a leftist weirdo piece of shit, blah blah blah. Yet every time an individual from Hollywood shows that they are that, they act so surprised. They're like, "What? I didn't know that he would be blah 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 blah." It's very dumb.
And then John Boy comes out as ultra like MAGA, and you're like, "That fits." That's
Yeah,
like
right.
All right.
absolutely
Hey,
false.
let me ask you about this. Anaconda, because they just had that crazy
God.
reboot
Yeah,
that just
yeah,
came out,
good.
which I want to see. I have not. My sons really want to see that too, so I can't wait for
Okay.
that. But the original, where
One of my
John Boy,
one of my favorite performances of all time.
right?
That's such a
It's
crazy
awesome.
performance. Dude.
Full bore lunatic, dude.
Maybe I should do it. The river could kill it 1,000 ways. Like, what is that?
Dude. That face where it's like smile / grimace, like
It's
It's
like
so
he
good.
grew an extra tooth for it.
he
Yeah,
gets
it's
puked up by a snake and then winks at her,
Yeah.
fucking after being regurgitated.
hands down one of my favorite villains.
Dude,
Ever.
yeah, he's so awesome in such an insane way. That's one of those things where it's like me and Corey talked before, politics, Mark Ruffalo, that whole thing. I just don't get these people. I don't personally agree with John Boyd's politics, but it has no
Neither.
bearing on what I think about him and
No,
Anaconda
absolutely.
or whatever. Or another guy
No.
that I always loved as an actor is James Woods, and he's the same thing. I
Yeah,
was
he
always-
went real crazy though.
Bro,
Yeah, I haven't even
social
seen him
media.
in anything in a very long time. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, like back in the day, he
I
was like
know.
one of
He's
my
so
good.
favorites.
I mean, the most egregious example of the I don't like their politics, therefore I think they are bad is Mel Gibson, who I mean, okay, John Voight and James Woods, maybe you hadn't seen him in anything you like, but Mel Gibson, like, you could make an argument that he's on the Mount Rushmore of all time of motherfuckers to do it in the way that he did it. Like, I just don't see how someone goes from the king of the 80s and 90s, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, to all of a sudden, he wasn't ever really that good.
I will say this because it's recent and relevant. If his most recent movie with Marky Mark is any indication, he has definitely lost his fastball as a filmmaker, which is a shame. Because before that, the movies he made, like directed, were just some of the all-time fucking greats. But
Man, I still remember working at the movie theater when Passion of the Christ came out, and there was
That's
nothing
his 9/11.
Yeah, there's nothing odder than seeing like people with big bucket coming to me get big buckets of popcorn and sodas to go see Passion of the Christ. I was like, this is a very weird
to watch their savior get just scourged for fucking 2.5 hours. Dude, cat of nine tails just whip Jesus's ass, boy.
Yeah, I think Patton Oswalt had a great joke when that was going on, where he was talking about like this. Yeah, like this is the part of Jesus' story you want to see. Just this part. He's like, it'd be like if there was an Albert Einstein biopic, and they're like, yeah, but it's just the time when he had violent diarrhea on the toilet between figuring out the equation. Now, when I said that that Passion of the Christ is like his 9/11, what I meant by that in the subtext was what 9/11 did to country music is what the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ did to Mel Gibson. Because pretty much after that, it was like he would, then it was the Jews, which like he didn't even
The
have
Jews
to say
were
all that
clearly
stuff.
a part of it while he was making the Passion.
That's what
of
I was
Christ.
going to say. Is like
being-
all that stuff that he said about the Jews, he kind of didn't have to because he showed it.
Showed not tell in the
Dude,
bro.
I was young and we didn't even have many Jewish people. We don't have any Jewish people around here for me to know. But even I was like, God damn, son, like that is straight up World War II propaganda pictures of Jews that you've just made.
Was it Ricky Gervais or someone who like confronted Mel Gibson on an award show to his face when he had the whole sugar tits and like extra, like, he was getting arrested and stuff? Remember, like he was really starting to have a downfall in mainstream Hollywood. I think it was the Golden Globes or something like that. Because like Ricky Gervais made a joke to his face about it, and Mel Gibson's just like such a weird little man or something like that. He tried to like brush it off. I'm like, oh yeah, Mel Gibson's definitely like he's not the charming guy he was in the 90s.
Shoo-wee, holidays. I love the holidays, but I'm glad they're over. Hit my body even harder than usual. The holidays, I'm not built to handle it. I mean, some would say I'm built to handle it too well, which is to say the holidays is that it's time. It's really time for fats to shine. That's when we come through as a people. But still, you need to pump the brakes a little bit. It's not just the food. There's all this food, but I have to travel. I live on the other side of the continent from all my family. So travel, good food, the general chaos involved with the holidays. So we kick it off with a weekend at Zany's every year in Nashville, which means we're getting drunk the whole time. And then I go eat Butterfinger cake. And it's a lot. It knocks you off your health and fitness goals. It happens to the best of us. And as I'm pushing 40 now, I've noticed that the holidays seem to take a bigger and bigger toll on my body. But it's January now. And we all know it means it's time to get back into the swing of things, health-wise. All right, and here's the thing. In 2026, I'm not just getting back to my normal healthy routine. I'm helping my body turn back the clock. You might not know this, but things happen to our body as we get older, right? The things that do happen, like stiff joints in the morning, longer time to recover from the gym, your hair thinning, nails breaking off, your skin not hitting as hard. All those things can be fixed. They can be addressed because all those things happen due to your body's collagen levels beginning to naturally decline as you get older. Collagen is often referred to as the glue that holds our bodies together. So you can imagine that a decline in collagen production will have some big impacts on your body, and it does. A lot of things you associate with aging are associated actually with collagen decline. That's where Bubs Naturals collagen peptides comes in to save the day. Bubs helps restore collagen levels closer to what your body naturally had in its youth, so your joints feel stronger, your hair and nails grow healthier, and your skin looks smoother. Since I started taking Bubs Natural Collagen, I look and feel like I'm in my 20s again. Don't say anything. I look pretty good for 40. I do, and it's made me look better. Bubs has added new meaning to new year, new you, because it helps you feel younger. It's super easy to use. It's a powder. It's just a powder. You mix it in a coffee, smoothie, juice, whatever. You can put it in literally anything because it's tasteless, odorless, dissolves instantly. It doesn't clump up. Smooth as the driven snow. I'm telling you, it works like a charm. And here's what makes Bubs truly different and makes it stand out. The brand is a tribute to former Navy SEAL Glenn Bub Doherty, a national American hero who gave his life serving in Libya. Glenn's call sign was Bub, and he was the kind of guy who always pushed for self-improvement and helped everyone around him. That DNA is woven into the Bubs brand, and to honor him, Bubs donates 10% of all their profits to charity, starting with the Glenn Doherty Memorial Foundation. On top of that, Bubs is built to the highest possible standard. There's no junk whatsoever, no sugars, no sweeteners, no fillers. It's third-party tested, NSF certified for sport, Whole30 approved, sustainably sourced from grass-fed, pasture-raised cattle, and it is trusted by over 100,000 customers and was named the best collagen of 2024 by Health.com. All right. They don't just make the cleanest and most effective collagen peptides in the world. They also sell electrolyte supplements. They've got MCT oil creamer. They got a whole line of products to make you feel like the youngest, bestest you possibly can, all of which have nothing but clean ingredients and are third-party tested, so you know you can trust it. All right. Live better, longer, and kick 2026 off the right way. Bubs is running a huge New Year, New You sale. Plus, for a limited time only, our listeners are getting 20% off at Bubs Naturals by using the code POA at checkout. Just head to BUBSnaturals.com and use the code POA, and you're all set. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that POA sent you. Bubs, get your shine back. Y'all, it's 2026. If you're still paying rent and you ain't using Built, it's time you reconsider that, okay? You got to pay rent. What are you going to do? Not pay it? No, you can't not pay it. But with Built, it's a loyalty program for renters that rewards you for paying the rent every month. Make paying the rent hit for you. You didn't think that was possible, right? But you know we live in a world that's powered by points. I'm a big points guy. I love points. Anything you can get points on in this world, you got to do it. Ask my wife, too. If I go to any given store and they're like, you got a phone number with us? I know that we do. I just give them my wife's number because she ain't never passed up a points program a day in her life, all right? And I don't either. You need a rewards program to get the most out of life. Wring out everything you can from it. And that's what Built allows you to do with your rent. With Built, every rent payment earns you points that can be used toward flights, hotels, Lyft rides, Amazon purchases, so much more. All right. And starting in February, Built members can earn points on mortgage payments for the first time. So soon you'll be able to get rewarded wherever you live and unlock exclusive benefits with more than 45,000 restaurants, fitness studios, pharmacies, and other neighborhood partners. Personally, I think that you should redeem, you can redeem your Built points in any given way that you choose. But here's some examples that hit for me. You can use my fitness classes at places like Soul Cycle, Pure Bar, Core Power, Cycle Bar, Rumble, Y7, and more. They have a Built travel portal for any of your travel needs, cars, planes, whatever. You can use points on that. Amazon box or two shows up at my doorstep every day with Built. I can get the discounts I need on that. Lyft rides, take lifts every which where I go. You can use Built for that. And they've got gift cards with over 120 brands, and they have so many more things that you can redeem your Built points on. That is in no way an exhaustive list. That's just some of the ones that I personally think hit. It's simple. Paying rent is better with Built, and soon owning a home will be better with Built too. Earn rewards and get something back wherever you live. Join the loyalty program for renters at joinbuilt.com/POA. That's JOINBILT. joinbuilt.com/POA. Make sure you use our URL so they know we sent you. Built, make paying rent hit for you.
I've got two more if that's okay.
I'm good.
So this one, here's how I'm going to position it. I want Trae to guess which one it is. It's a Harry Potter movie. Which of the Harry Potter movies do you think warrants a 2 out of 5?
Me?
Yeah. Which one, if you had to say, because there's one that I could go, 2 out of 5, fine, but I want to know which one you think a 2 out of 5 Harry Potter movie could be.
The first half of the 7th one, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay. So part 1, Deathly Hallows, he's given a 2 out of 5. So you called it, which means it's not egregious, and that's fine. But he also gave 2 out of 5 to Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the first one, which, by the way, makes me feel that you have a beef with Christopher Columbus. Go on.
I do. Oh, that's wow, Corey. You're very attuned to that. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, boss.
Actually, I think Christopher Columbus should never direct again. I know he did Home Alone 2, but like, yeah, those first 2 Harry Potter movies, he butchered the fuck out of those stories. I mean, Chamber of Secrets is definitely a notch up, and I get it. He's working with new kid actors and stuff in the first one, but that shit is so rough and so boring. Like, it was a terrible introduction to my co-host into the Harry Potter movies. Like, he absolutely hated it from movie 1. He's like, this is so slow and boring. And also Christopher Columbus butchered Rent, like the movie adaptation of Rent. It was egregiously bad.
Well, first off, you saw Rent. That's your fault. But secondly, I respect your opinion because, you know, you're a movie critic on the internet, but I would just like to point out that there's a lot of people who feel the exact opposite and who say that, like, Chris Columbus should have stayed on the helm all of the Harry Potters.
That's insane. That would have been terrible.
You not a whimsy guy, Brandon?
No, he hates whimsy.
I guess I do hate whimsy too a little bit. You know, I think with black
Wes
people,
Anderson.
it's hard.
What about Wes Anderson?
Y'all don't like
Wes
magic.
Anderson.
That's what black people don't like magic.
No, they love magic.
No, we love magic.
No, they're scared of
magic when we can use it. When magic is, we're able to use magic. We like it. If it's used on us, that's a problem. So you were asking about Wes Anderson. So Wes Anderson, I'm very mixed on, right? Like Roll Tenenbaums, Rushmore. My favorite of his, I was actually talking about this last night. My favorite is my Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think it's a great movie. Combination of like his aesthetic with like, I love that book as a kid. Like that's one of the first books that got me into reading, that made me love reading. His recent ones have been really rough. Like the paper one was really bad. The Asteroid City, I was like, I don't really get like what's this going for? So I'm very mixed on Wes Anderson, but I love Fantastic Mr. Fox and Royal Tenenbaums.
There's a little high on his own supply thing perhaps going on. I liked the Phoenician scheme. I did like the Phoenician scheme, but
that's the newest one, right? With Benicio?
Yeah, I liked it. But
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
if you put Benicio in most things, I'm going to like it. And also, like, there is part of me that goes, okay, am I really enjoying this, or am I just blown away by how aesthetically pleasing it is? Because my eyeball loves everything that Wes Anderson has ever done. But I will say that there's a couple movies in between his most recent one and Tannenbaum's where you go, what's the story? Or did he just think this would be a cool shot? You know, but I still like, but I agree. Like, to me, it's like my favorites are probably Royal Tenenbaums, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and The Life Aquatic. Those are my 3 favorites.
Okay. Life Aquatic, Willem Dafoe and Wes Anderson are a perfect combo. Like Life Aquatic, wasn't that the one where he's like, not if I see you first?
Yeah.
That
it's
one,
great.
right? Okay.
And so my favorite part about it is that Bill Murray's dog is named Cody. I just thought that's a funny name for a dog to have, is Cody.
I also really liked the Grand Budapest Hotel. Personally,
I love that one.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
Yeah, Ray Fox, that's a really good one.
But
yeah,
real quick on the Harry Potter front, just to add my 2 cents. When those movies first came out, I had like more recently read all the books. You know, those movies started coming out before the books were finished. So it was like actively, you know, and so I was like in it book wise at the time. And so I didn't really like any of the movies at the time.
Right.
I was like, they're leaving so much out. I don't like the way they did this. Like, they ain't doing it for me. I rewatched them years later with my children after having not read the books in a very long time. And then I was like, well, these are fun. I like this. I don't really know. I'm not really on board with the HBO series thing. I don't get just literally redoing just the same exact story over now.
Yeah,
like
but
already,
I feel like they
I
might. Since it's a full series, each movie is getting a series treatment, so perhaps they're going to put some of that stuff in.
Yeah, they'll fill out.
But it depends on how many episodes. Like the seasons have to fluctuate in episode order, because otherwise, if you go like 12 episodes for each season, there's some of the books that don't warrant 12 episodes of television. So that's the issue I have.
Chamber of Secrets, for instance.
Yeah, like but like for me, like the Harry Potter movies, after 5, they were all directed by the same guy, David Yates. And I loved what I was really starting to like is them doing different directors for each movie. And like I remember Guillermo del Toro was like in talks for possibly doing the last one. I was like, that'd be amazing. But like it just never happened. So I also kind of like ran out of steam with the movies after a while too.
I hear you. Here's the last one, and I saved this for last because I mean I just think it warrants it. Now, I will open by saying, don't get me wrong, because I have rewatched it within the last year. Don't get me wrong, as any comedy does, especially from the era when it came out. Yeah, a lot of them don't hold up as well, for sure. However, 2 out of 5 here. Let me read you the review. Maybe Trae can guess what. This has a long legacy in cinema that is worth considering. Surprisingly, didn't enjoy rewatching this. I found myself shrugging my shoulders a lot and being bothered by Winston's character arc or lack thereof. That's Ghostbusters. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
Oh, wow. That is a hot take indeed.
That's a hot fucking... Because, again, I agree with you that I didn't feel the same on the rewatch as I did as a kid. How could you? But 2 out of fucking 5?
You know what it is? Like, the problem for me is, like, I go into movie history. I read about, like, Ernie Hudson, Eddie Murphy, of it all with Ghostbusters. And knowing that context and then rewatching it, that's what I know about the Winston character, right? And the lack of character development there. And then...
Eddie was supposed to play Ernie Hudson's character?
Yeah.
That's
going to be a way bigger role. Yeah, exactly. But also, it was like, well, there was some weird things about it. Like, there's like, it's a sexual assault against a man, but like, the ghost blowjob, where I was like, oh, that's a wild scene. But then also, like, Bill Murray, like, for some reason, like, I just didn't like, when I rewatched it for the podcast, like, I just wasn't connecting with it. I thought he was like a little too mean and weird to be in that role.
Meaner than I remember.
Yeah, he's like a lot.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, like it wasn't like the likable performance that I thought
he's
I remembered
just kind of a prick. Yeah,
even to Sigourney Weaver, I was like, there's no real chemistry here. It's like
I
remember as a kid like thinking of it differently than the way I saw it through an adult lens. I think that I held that. I think that's what took it down from like going to be a fresh to a rotten, because I was just like, this doesn't hold up the way I thought it could.
Well, interestingly enough, one of the, like, let's say hypothetically, not hypothetically, it was definitely a 5 out of 5 when I was a kid. But what on my rewatch would have made it more of a 4 out of 5 was not trying to be overly woke, but not only was he a little bit of a prick, but there's a scene with him and Sigourney Weaver that is a bit, it's a bit sexual assaulty. You know what I mean? The one in, yeah, the one in her apartment or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was, I was like, wow, this is, even for me, who's a man who can shrug off some of this shit just by going, whatever, it's a comedy. I was like, God damn, like they really didn't give a fuck in the 80s. But I still think 2 out of 5 is insane.
Relevant to the first part of this discussion, and speaking of memorable standout performances from pretty crazy and subpar 90s killer animal movies. Ernie Hudson in Congo is
awesome.
The shit,
he's fucking awesome. Yeah.
He is so awesome in that movie. Yeah. Like I went to a thing recently, again, with the boys, watching movies like the Anaconda, Deep Blue Sea, Congo, and rewatching Congo. So Tim Curry is something else in that movie too. But
that's a great villain.
Delroy Lindo is great.
Yeah, he's amazing.
His brief scene, stop eating my sesame kick. Yeah, like love it. But and I remembered most of that. But my main takeaway from that was I was like, dude, Ernie Hudson is rocking the fucking shit in this movie. Like he is so charming and just awesome. Like, he was by far my favorite part of it. Like, I just thought he was the man in that.
Real quick, because you mentioned it. So Tremors, Congo, and Deep Blue Sea, saw all those with my nana, my grandmother, right? Deep Blue Sea, I remember we saw that opening weekend in the movie theater. The twist with Samuel L. Jackson is one of the best experiences I've ever had in a movie theater.
I know. I saw it.
No one saw that coming.
Buddy, I had the same experience. I saw it in the movie theater too, and that shit was like, what? It was,
Hey, I pulled this up.
Jack too.
Yeah, that's him last year at 78.
Yeah.
That's him last year
crazy.
at 78, dude. He looks better than any of the people I graduated with by a mile.
Yeah. Oh, dude. But yeah, no, Deep Blue Sea, it's fun. You know, I remember one of my earliest tweets when I first got on Twitter, which was obviously years after Deep Blue Sea, but I guess I just rewatched it or something. It was in quotation marks, and it said, quote, "You ate my bird," end quote, LL Cool J to a shark before exploding it.
Yeah. This movie is so insane.
Go rewatch that.
It's so much fun, but it's so like ridiculous. Like and then the Bane scientist chick, she just gets naked, like basically to like put a wire in a shark's mouth. But you're just like, I remember being a young boy, like, man, she's really hot. Like, it's just a crazy movie experience.
There's obviously still nudity in films, don't get me wrong, but there's not as much just gratuitous and for no reason nudity like there used to be. And I wish that they'd bring a little of that back.
So apparently, I guess the reason they're doing that, I think, is because there's all this like polling and shit that shows that like Gen Z and young, they don't like it, right? That. They don't like it. And so because like young people don't like that now, I think that's why they're cutting.
For the record, I actually agree with some people. With like, there's sometimes when they'll have a like an overly long, passionate love scene in a movie, and I'll be like, okay, this was 10 minutes. It could have been trimmed. All we need to know is that they hooked up. We don't actually have to see it. But that's not me saying like, I don't want to see naked bodies on my screen. It's me going, this is 10 minutes of my life. They're always going to have fucked. We can do it in 30 seconds, move on. But like, just have them titties out,
Just have them titties out.
I think we should end there, except for the postscript I want to do. Just have them titties out. Brandon, thanks for being here, and tell everybody, give everybody your plugs. Give your plugs again, then I'll do it. Yeah. Or you'll do it.
Folks can follow me at Instagram at Frodo_Blackens. And then Drunk Black History, going on tour all across the country. It's not just for Black people, it's for everybody. You want to come learn some incredible Black historical stories about people and events that shape the world that we live in a very positive way. Please come out, drunkblackhistory.com. I'm going to be in LA, New York, Austin, and other places. There's so many cities I can't even remember them, but drunkblackhistory.com. Thank you.
Spoiler, they invented peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure.
That's actually a myth.
Nice.
George Washington Carver didn't quite do it, but he was like a pioneer in nutrition and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, Brandon, he's the man. Check him out. Also, check me out. Go to TraeCrowder.com and come see me on the road. I got Spartanburg, Wilmington, Birmingham, Atlanta, all coming up soon, and then a bunch more after that at TraeCrowder.com. Corey.
Go to CoreyWritesForYou.com. That's my Substack, where, among other things, every single day you can read my diary, which is the ramblings of a madman and a lunatic at CoreyWritesForYou.com. Also, January 31st, I'm in Asheville, North Carolina at the Eulogy. And then February 15th, I'm in Athens, Georgia at Hendershots with our good friends, the Drive-By Truckers, and Drew Morgan. So do that, and thanks for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, and stay fancy, motherfuckers, if you choose to sign off right now. So, Brandon, the new movie I want to ask you about, and if you haven't seen this will be very short. But if you have and you're listening and y'all haven't seen this movie but you want to see it, then see y'all later. But have you seen Edington?
I haven't. I have a whole thing with Ari Aster.
All right, bye. No, what'd you say? You don't like Ari Aster?
I have dude. Like, because over the podcast we watched Hereditary, which fucked me up. Like, really.
See, I haven't even seen it because people say it's so fucked up. This is the first Ari Aster movie that I've ever seen, because I was saying earlier about when American Psycho came up, and I was like, so things that are like fucked up, I was like, that's not really my bag. I've never even watched Ari Aster movies.
So my understanding with Edington, like from like film fans that like have seen all the Ari Aster, Edington is his most commercial movie.
Yeah,
Sure.
Think about that, right?
That checks out.
Hereditary is fucked up. Midsommar is insane, even though Florence Pugh, she's great in it. It looks amazing. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. And then for the podcast, we reviewed those two movies. For the podcast, we went and reviewed his student film that's on YouTube. It's called The Strange Things About the Johnsons. And it's about this black family and incest and murders involved. And it fucked me up to a level, guys, where during the podcast, I was like, either like we never watched an Ari Aster movie or I quit the podcast. Like I'm dead serious. This is where he started. I was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, so yeah, I refuse to watch Beau is Afraid or Edington.
I just had so many friends, Corey among them, who just kept saying, "Oh, this movie rules and it's wild as hell." That I finally
Burns said it rules. I said it was fucked up.
Yeah, I noticed. I sort of picked up on that in our group chat with the guy who semi produces the show. He was talking about how this was his favorite movie of the year. He was great ever. Can't wait to hear what Corey thought about it because Corey watched it on his rec. And I got the impression in the text, I was like, Corey is diplomatically not telling him that he didn't love it. I thought that's
I did. Well, I did. I'll tell you this. When we were texting, I was actively watching the movie, was like, hey, yo, I'm going to watch this, blah, blah, blah. So some of those texts were before the third act. Now, the third act was so bananas crazy and also really fun. It was a lot of explosions, a lot of crazy shit. So that honestly probably from the moment I sent the first thing to Burns, my likeness of that movie went up at least 25%. So I ended up actually, really liking it. But at first, and I told Burns this, it wasn't so much that I didn't like the movie because I did. It was that I genuinely, I don't want to use the term PTSD because that's a very serious thing, but
it's hard to watch.
Seeing COVID represented again, it reminded me of that time. And obviously things are still fucked up. But that specific time when it was fresh fucked up and the whole world was different, it was just, I was about to have a panic attack, just God damn, all this shit. But arguably, your job as a director and filmmaker is to make people feel something, and boy, did I.
Yeah,
I mean, he's really good at that.
It's one of those, it's while watching it, there were multiple things that made me go well, I don't know about that. Oh, that's wild, whatever, that type of thing. And I was I dug it, but not God, this is my shit type. And then the third act, the whole time I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? But in a fun way.
Yeah, in a very fun way.
But, and this is a mark of that type of movie. To me, I kind of can't stop thinking about it though. And
me too.
I think that it's definitely ambitious and noteworthy for sure.
That's why I don't want to watch it either. Cause that's how I feel about his movies, Hereditary, Midsommar. I was thinking about them for a long time. Midsommar fucked me up in a way where William Jackson Harper plays the character as part of this group. That's have y'all seen Midsommar?
No, I said, I haven't seen any of his movies except this one.
They go to this random fucking festival, in the middle of fucking nowhere in Europe, and they're getting drugged immediately. As soon as they step foot on the fields, they're giving them all kinds of psychedelic stuff, and they're just taking it. This black guy actively wants, there's a couple with a black guy who's actively want to leave, and they can't leave. And for me, that's the biggest fear I ever have about going anywhere. It's hey, I don't feel safe. I'm gonna leave, and people are no, it's good, baby, it's good. And you're and it's. The third act is so fucked up. There's flaying of people. There's this weird thing where people are strung up and you see their lungs moving. It was so visceral. And I still gave him a chance with the student film, and the student film fucked me up even more.
Well, just so you know,
I can't do this.
Just so you know, Edington doesn't have any black people being trapped or black cousins sucking each other's dicks. So if those are your hangups about
there is a black cop who is in a sort of unique cultural position throughout.
He sure is.
I will say
which
that.
I mean, that was honestly probably a good storytelling decision. Because the whole time I was like, how's he going to navigate this shit? So again, if a movie's supposed to make you feel something, I'm with Trae. I've thought about it every day since I watched it. Wow. And the third act was so wild that it's a different movie altogether, dude. It's its own fucking thing,
But does it make sense? Does it feel earned, or is it just he just went cuckoo bananas?
No, I think No, it feels earned, especially because of the world we live in.
Because it's like Barbarian, right? Where it flips halfway through and you're like, oh, it's still the same movie, but they just tonally kind of took a shift.
Well, the question, does it make sense, is an interesting one, given what happens in the third act of that movie. But
it's about our country and how we respond to horrible things. And like, there's a lot of stuff that we actually do that don't make no motherfucking sense. So like, if it's a commentary on that, then it nailed it, you know?
It worked out. Okay.
All right. Well, buddy, interesting discussion, despite the fact you haven't seen it. But it was a great time. I know I told you we were just going to talk for 30 minutes, but then it's been an hour and 15.
This is great, man. I love talking with you guys, especially movies and stuff. Like,
likewise,
I would love to hear y'all just like break down the plot of Edington. I could do that. I'm not going to watch the movie, but y'all can tell me beat by beat what happens. Well,
I was about to say either you watch it and then come back, or maybe we'll do a bonus episode in the future where we just dedicate it to a movie and we explain it. We do like a 2-man play of Edington.
Yeah, but for now, we'll let everybody go. All right, thanks, Brandon.
You guys.
Thanks for listening, guys. Stay fancy.
Take care, buddy. Here's Lydia Loveless.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Royalty and rednecks are alike. They both like cutting and picking fights. Biscuits and baked beans where they don't belong. Sit on down with Corey and Trae and learn some fancy shit today. We'll laugh a little even when they're wrong. They'll take you to a magical place where if you call someone a cunt, nobody cares. They keep it debonair at putting on a